There are public figures today, yesterday, and the day before predicting and all but calling for mass violence and rioting in the streets.
Obviously, Republicans, I think, are the biggest threat to democracy. We don't separate right-wing extremists and Republican Party anymore. Republicans, I think, are the biggest threat to democracy. We don't separate right-wing extremists and Republican Party anymore. Republicans are the biggest threat to democracy.
This means war. That is where we are. We are at war with these people. These folks are evil.
And all but calling for mass violence and rioting in the streets.
This means war.
You wanted to think you need to have weapons to take on the government. You need F-15s and maybe some nuclear weapons.
We are at
war with these people. I have had that intro / transition / news alert piece for a couple of years now, and thank you, Mr. Tim, for creating that. It sounds like the same playbook, does it not? They're at war with us. When is the government going to wake up, or are they complicit in allowing this war to happen? Well, guess who has an opinion about that? I hope you have an opinion and you put it in the comment section down below. Here we are. It is Thursday. It is February the 5th, 2026 on thepreparedmind.club and subscribestar.com. And Ooman at X. Welcome one, welcome all. And here's my opinion about being at war. I agree. Listen to this. There is a self-proclaimed Antifa general. Really? A general? Well, anyways, the general has now been arrested in Minneapolis because they raided him and arrested him. You know what he did? He called for Antifa. They are communists. And all other communists, anti-government, anti-American, anti-Christian, to join him in an armed uprising against immigrations and customs enforcement. Now, this guy shot his fucking soup cooler off, right? Got arrested. It's not over, folks. That doesn't fix anything. As far as I know, the little bastard's out on the street again and calling for more violence. I think by now, if you haven't learned this lesson yet, we all need to accept this. We all need to accept that voting is not going to fix this problem. We know that law enforcement only selectively does, well, a damn thing, and only if they feel like it. We know judges and we know lawyers are traitors and liars. Now, do we all realize, do we all know that we need at this point to eliminate every single one of them, all left-wing evil Democrats ourselves? Do you know that? Do you realize that? Well, the laws are in place to remove seditionists, insurrectionists, traitors, communists. Do we all know, do we all realize that government is not going to do its job? The president and the governors are not going to do their jobs. The legislatures at the federal and state level will not do their jobs. Law enforcement, federal, state, sheriff, police are not going to do their jobs and get these evil, traitorous Democrats. Do we realize, do all of us, patriots, have you come to the realization, are you accepting that there's going to be blood in the streets, knee deep? That's how deep it's going to have to be in order to fix the problems. Do you accept that? Do you realize that's the only way out of this at this point? If you're in an extremely Republican area, 4 out of 10 people are going to have to be handled. In a Democrat area, it is going to be 6 out of 10 people are going to need to be erased, knee deep in blood to fix the problems, because all these street Democrats vote for the police, the mayor, the city council, the county supervisors, the state legislature, the governor, Congress, the Senate, the president. And they all do absolutely nothing. Nothing. And if we fix the problem on the street, do you realize that you and I and everyone in America who have solved the problem on the street level will then need to tell government? That would be executive, legislature, law enforcement, judges, and bureaucrats. We're going to have to tell them all to go home forever while we decide what to do to them as punishment for allowing what has happened on the streets in our country. I know, I have a great idea. Maybe we should exile them to communist and Muslim countries, since they think Americans living with these goat fuckers is a good idea. Do you think that's an appropriate punishment for what they're doing to our country? I don't see any way out of this at this point. We are not going to vote our way out. The president and governors will not do anything to fix it. The legislature will not even vote to make sure that you can't vote without an identification card. No, but you need an ID to buy a beer. You need an ID to go fishing. You need an ID to drive a car. You need an ID, for just about everything except voting for the government that is controlling this country. I mean, look, I'm not calling for violence. I'm not inciting violence. I'm telling you, violence is now the only solution. I've got something for you. A retarded Seattle healthcare worker. You guys know healthcare workers are supposed to, quote, do no harm. Isn't that part of the Hippocratic oath? Which is now to them the hypocritical oath. Do no harm. Well, a retarded Seattle healthcare worker is talking shit about ICE and suggests that women start firing bullets. And then this healthcare worker, do no harm, shows off a target of a human. You see, folks, they are never going to learn. They will never learn. And they want violence. Yes, the left wing wants violence, and they will use violence to determine how all of this ends. Up in Seattle, Portland, come on over the country to Minneapolis. They're setting up roadblocks. They're checking IDs. They're doing exactly what fucking Nazis did. Oh, they hate the Nazis. They hate those fascists. But they have checkpoints. Show us your papers. They don't like you. They assault you or kill you. You see, violence does solve problems. And the left wing is using it to solve their problem. It is to intimidate you, to threaten you, to silence you, to make you give up, quit, and submit to them. That is exactly how the fucking communists did it in Russia 100 years ago. It's how they did it in China 70 years ago. It's how they've done it in every communist regime. It is how every Muslim takeover has happened. It is how the peoples of Israel have done it in every country they have taken over and intimidated and now control. I'm going to take a hard pass on being one of their victims. And I think if anyone is going to pay the bill for retardation, it's going to be the communists, and it's going to be the terrorists, and it's going to be the fucking foreigners. That's the one thing. And in fact, today, guys, I listened to some Europeans. There's a European couple that has decided they want to visit America to prove or disprove, to set in concrete or dispel European opinions about the United States of America. And what I took away from watching these folks for a while was they like America. They like the attitude. And they like the fact that we all have guns, and they now understand. I actually went to a gun range lawfully, legally, rented some guns lawfully, legally, shot them lawfully, legally, and realized and understood from that moment that if you can do that legally, if you can own your own gun, you now have the power to resist evil, to resist tyranny, to resist despotism. And you combine that with food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and you, my friends, are now in a position to defeat evil. Prepping isn't just about surviving a power outage or a hurricane, an earthquake or a volcano, a snowstorm, a rainstorm, a flood. No. Prepping is about handling problems and taking the trash out. We've got problems, folks. We do. I got an email today. I'm not going to tell you who it's from. I'm not going to tell you who it's from. But I want to read you just the first passage, because I wondered, because I don't hear too much. Where is it? Where is it? Up there we are. Okay, there it is. Here's the passage. John, you are right about the synagogue of Satan. These are people that follow the Talmud, which came from ancient Babylon when the Jews were captured and enslaved by the Babylonians for 70 years. They practice Kabbalah, a mystery religion, aka Satanism, which is nothing more than Satanism. You will see them wearing the red string bracelets. Now, this person also understands there's Talmudic Zionist Jews, and there are good old-fashioned Semitic Jews who read the first 5 books of the Bible, written by Moses. So this was written, here are my thoughts about the synagogue of Satan. That would be the Zionists. In addition to world domination, fake Jews, which a lot of people call them, are building hatred towards the real Jewish people. These are the people of the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I'll just stop right there. That would be Semitic people. You are not Semitic if you adopted the Jewish religion through the Talmud and you practice Satanism. Okay, let us continue. I want your thoughts down below, please. Now, President Trump, in an effort to try and defend himself. Oh, by the way, he went on the news, and he is now bantering about the idea of giving citizenship to the illegals. Just, you guys are citizens now. Welcome to America. No tests, no loyalty, no understanding, nothing. That's not how we solve our problems. Amnesty and instant citizenship don't work. Trump also says, quote, Epstein conspired against me, end quote. Great news, Trump. I guess now because he says Trump says Epstein conspired against me, that Trump isn't a pedophile. Okay, great, Trump. I'm glad you said that. Now prove it. Tell Israel, who the whole world, we're talking America, Canada, Australia, the United Kingdom, all of Europe, Russia, China, the people of the world agree that Trump is Israel's puppet. So prove them all. Prove us all wrong, Trump, and tell Israel to go pound sand, stop giving them $5 billion U.S. taxpayer dollars every week, and tell them we won't fight their wars and die so they can laugh at us dead goyim and lobby the government to send more Muslims to destroy our Christian nations. Is that too hard? Is it really? If the president in the White House was America first, and also as well informed as all of us are, I don't think he could disagree with those sentiments. It must be tough. Who do you think told him, okay, we're not going to get rid of these illegals. You're going to pull out of Minnesota. He says he's going to come out of Minnesota, bring all the federal troops out, and he's not going to send federal law enforcement into any city, anywhere, unless the mayor asks him to. He's not going to do his job as president of these United States unless a little itty bitty chicken shit mayor asks him. So here's my advice to everybody, and I mean everybody who lives in a Democrat city, especially those that are full of Somalis, Palestinians, Syrians, or any other Muslims. Get the fuck out right away. Because if Trump is serious and they stop, this is going to be this is going to be a clarion call across all of these cities and blue states that you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can harbor criminals, fugitives, illegals, robbers, rapists, murderers, and kidnappers. They're all welcome in these blue cities, and they will take your fucking property, and they're going to rape your wives and your fucking daughters and even your sons, because these illegals are raping children and women and anyone they can put their little dicks in. It is over, folks. It is over. It is over. Epstein conspired against me. That's what we fucking get. Boo-hoo, poor Trump. I don't think so. I'm not fucking buying it. Get the fuck out of Democrat cities. They're going to go to hell. Literally. I mean, understand this, folks. Nigeria. Right now, the Muslims in Nigeria are attacking and murdering Christians. Yep. Just today reported another 160 dead. The latest attack on Christianity in Nigeria. 160 dead. Oh, don't worry. Israel is okay with this because Christians are goy or goyim, cattle to the Israelis. This suits Israel as well. Muslim terrorists see Christians as infidels, deserving of nothing but death or used as a sex slave and then murdered. When is the civilized world once again going to realize that there are people in this world who hate us all, and they see themselves as God's chosen, whether they're Muslims or Talmudic Jews? They see themselves as perfect, as godlike, and they're going to fucking kill us all. And right now, you bet these Christians are going to be targets of the hatred of everyone around them, especially if you live in a blue city or state. And I'll tell you what, here in the great state of Florida, we need to put an end to this shit down here on a state level. I know that the state government in Florida here is trying to make it illegal for a bank to allow an illegal to have a bank account, to get a driver's license, to own property. You are not a legal citizen. Get the fuck out of here. And I'm hoping it happens, because examples need to be set. There needs to be some place that we can feel safe, folks, as civilized Western Christian people. We need to kick these people the fuck out. The same way this Air Force colonel got booted out of the military. Well, for what, John? A colonel, that's a pretty high-ranking officer. Yes, an Air Force colonel was booted out of the military because he is a transgender freak who went by the name of Bree Fram, who is now attacked Trump and is going to run for Congress, claiming Americans don't feel safe. Well, folks, you're damn right I don't feel safe, but it's not because of Trump. No real American, nor a true Christian, nor any decent human feels safe when a man dresses up as a woman and then wields military authority and claims that they are morally superior because they tucked their dick up to their butthole or just cut it off. These retarded humans, folks, should not have the power to harm others, either civilian or in the military. And they should not be part of the government and allowed to spend all of our money as representatives. Wake up, folks. They're all around us. Just like that preacher in the movie They Live says, wake up. They're all around us. They're in every city, folks, every county, every state. Trust me, I'm going to do my part to rub out cockroaches when the time comes. I hope you are prepared. Look around. Understand where we are at. Where we are at. I mean, the leadership around the world, the military leadership, retarded. Yeah, here's a great example. Is this setting an example or is this a fucking joke? Listen to this. The Queen of Denmark. Yes. Queen Maxima is training with the military reserve in the Netherlands. That's right. She's in the armed forces. The Queen of Denmark is wearing a uniform and a helmet and is training. Do you believe that for a fucking second? Who is she going to fight? This is a middle-aged woman wearing camouflage. Who's she going to fight? The farmers and their tractors because the government wants to get rid of farming? You know, that's where the fucking food comes from. The Queen's going to fight the farmers, huh? I'm sure the Dutch are not impressed with this. I know I'm not. And I'm not going to line up to be sent to die in Ukraine. And I don't think the Dutch people want to be lined up and sent to die in Ukraine because the Queen put on a uniform and was training. But when everyone goes to die over in the Ukraine, I'm sure the Queen is going to be eating filet mignon, steak in her palace. Ooh, that was good. Thank you, Jeeves. They're not going to war. This is a fucking game. Everything is a game. It's an absolute game. Are you prepared? Do you see it? Do you understand? In Britain, the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, has a rebellion with the Labour Party. That's right. The Labour Party wants to kick him out. They're calling for Keir's resignation. That's right, folks. And Keir Starmer has admitted that he knew Lord Mendelsohn was a close friend of Epstein even after Epstein was convicted of being a child rapist. And Keir Starmer nominated Lord Mendelsohn as the U.S. ambassador anyway. And he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed over this. Holding his head in his hands in Parliament. Oh, I don't know. He's embarrassed, right? Why should the Prime Minister of England, Keir Starmer, quit over a few boys and a few girls who have been raped by the homosexual Lord Mandelson and his husband? Just asking if that's what really happened, right? Mandelson is embarrassed. Oh my God, I'm friends with Epstein. Been exposed. Queer is upset over Lord Mandelson, but he approves, promotes, and is allowed the kidnapping, drugging, rape, and often murder of British girls numbering over 200,000 at the hands of Muslim invaders. But, he's embarrassed over Lord Mendelsohn. And he may resign because of that. But never mind the 200,000 plus girls in the United Kingdom raped, kidnapped, held, threatened, shot, murdered, dismembered, acid thrown in their face. But he's embarrassed about Lord Mendelsohn. Now, I don't think any of it is acceptable. He should be more than embarrassed. He should go hang himself in disgrace. Folks, every single lamppost in London, in Washington, D.C., and in Brussels should have special ornaments hanging from them. Special ornaments hanging from them. Fucking Starmer. I mean, really, this is our leadership. Trump signals a shift in the way he handles illegals. The federal government is only going to go into sanctuary cities if the mayors ask, and the federal government is invited. I think we need some political boner medicine. What kind of weak-assed chicken shit beg permission to do your job? Limp-wristed sissy talk is this coming out of Trump? Isn't he Mr. Art of the Deal? Why the pussy approach that is so limp that even Jimmy Carter would look like a tough guy compared to Trump? You know why? I'm going to give you my opinion. I'll tell you why. Trump is like, you have to ask and invite us, or we're not going to come do our jobs that the Constitution says you must do. Well, I think Trump was ordered to stand down. It's that simple. Trump does what his masters tell him to do. And his masters want the illegals in this country to remain here for all of us, me, you, our parents, our children, our grandchildren, Americans, patriots. They want all of us to be robbed. They want all of us to be raped. They want all of us to be murdered. And if not murdered, they want us taxed to death to support these camel fuckers. While the other religious group runs Washington, D.C., and the corporations and the financing and the banking. It's a two-tiered system, folks. And you and I, as Christian Americans, as civilized Westerners, whether you're black or white, Asian or native, it doesn't fucking matter. You and I are not to be allowed. They want the dumbest of dumb, the fucking Muslims, to dominate and kill everyone so they can sit up in their ivory fucking towers and say, that's just fine as long as you leave us the fuck alone and we make money off of you dumb fucking camel jockeys. That's where we're at. Trump is ordered to stand down, folks. Just like Queer Starmer was ordered to stand down. Just like Brussels and Ursula von der Leyen has told everyone in Europe, you will accept more of these fucking people, not less, more of these fucking losers, these low IQ, inbred, murderous, religious imbeciles. And they're willing to fight to make sure that we get this treatment. In fact, speaking of fighting, Hillary Clinton has come out and challenged Representative Comer, who said, if you don't come to Congress and testify under subpoena, under oath, we're going to arrest you. So Hillary says, if you want this fight, let's have it. Can you imagine the screeching bitchiness of Hillary Clinton over this? Well, Comer responded basically with the same comment. Yeah, let's have it. Let's fight. The Clintons, folks, they're dishonest. I've never met anyone who said, they're good people. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't Trump say a few days back that, the Clintons, they're criminal? And then just like yesterday, he said, well, why are they messing with Bill Clinton? I still like him. Still like him. You mean you could change your mind any minute and not like him? Kind of like you decided in 1 minute to not like your constituents, that you promised you would get the Epstein files out and arrest the bad guys. You promised to get the illegals out of the fucking country. You promised to stop our money from being wasted. This is what I said, folks. I'll criticize all these motherfuckers. That's why I said, after we take care of all the problems out on the street, we're going to tell the politicians, you don't run a fucking thing. Leave the office. We're going to your bank and we're going to seize your fucking money. Leave your badges and guns. You don't get to own those anymore. You have failed. Every last one of these motherfuckers, folks. They are dishonest, just like the Clintons. Well, let's have it happen. Let's get the Clintons, both Hillary and Bill, in Congress. Let's have it. Let's see if anyone can piss off Hillary so bad that she admits to her crimes. And when she does, if and when she were to admit to her crimes, do you think for one fucking second that Pam Bondi or the FBI or anybody in the Department of Justice is going to arrest that fucking cunt? Oh, it'll be a circus, folks, in Congress with the Clintons in there. Bring your beer, bring your popcorn. It's just a soap opera. It's just entertainment. It's Potemkin Congress. It's a show. Nothing is going to happen. They're going to continue to fuck us over. Period. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, that's the first half of the show. I'm feeling, powerfully pissed off. I hope you, my friends, I hope you're ready. Let's do it. Let's see what you want to talk about. You know, a lot of people have told me, you just like to get on here and rant, John. Actually, I don't. I don't like getting on here and ranting. It doesn't do a bit of fucking good to solve the problem. About the only thing it does is give me an opportunity to speak to the world. You guys share the internet address. Share it. Email, text, write, phone call, friends, family, coworkers. Wake up. Come to the Prepared Mind and learn. Or one day you're going to get caught. You're going to get a fucking sock full of sand in the back of your head, and it's going to take you to the ground. And when you wake up, your ribs are going to hurt. Your nose is going to be broke. You'll have a couple limbs knocked out of joint. Maybe a broken bone or two. You'll have a splitting fucking headache. You might be missing some of your clothing. Don't worry. They'll look in your wallet or your purse. They'll know where your home address is. And they'll go to your house. And they're going to steal all your shit. And then they're going to victimize your family because you have a Trump sticker on your car, because you're wearing a MAGA hat. You're supporting a president who is doing absolutely jack shit, but he's still the evil villain the left hates. See, it doesn't matter what Trump does. Trump could do everything Democrat. Everything Democrat. And they still need someone to hate to give them the excuse to come to your city, my city, any city, and start burning it to the fucking ground. That's why I said voting isn't going to fix this. We've tried it. Voting is not going to fix this. The only way to fix this is for people to get together in groups, whether they think the local, state, or federal government is going to come after them. Here's the recipe, folks. I'm now giving it to you. You're going to have to form groups, militia groups. Whether you think the feds are involved or not, you're going to have to form groups and get together and say, for the defense of the state, under the Second Amendment and the First Amendment, we are gathering to talk about what to do in an emergency to protect ourselves and our family and our country. Form groups. Do it now. Start talking to people, whether you think they are hard asses or whether you think they're just normies, as long as you think and believe that they're not Democrats. Form groups and say, hey, this is for mutual protection of our families. You don't want to be a part of it? Fine. The rest of us on the street will take care of each other, and you're on your fucking own. And when, my friends, if you've got a group of 10 or 20 or 50 or 100, it doesn't matter. When shit gets wild and hairy, you and your group can join other groups just like yours and go take care of business at town hall or the state capitol. Period. It's going to have to come to that at this point. I'm not saying do anything dangerous or harmful. I'm not inciting violence or insurrection. I'm doing nothing wrong but telling you, if you want to protect yourself, don't be a lone wolf. Join a group. Put together a group. Talk to your neighbors. Most veterans are constitutionalists. Most. Even though I know there's some that are fucking sellout communist pieces of shit. I've met them. But start with veterans. Start with someone you know is a hunter. I think probably the percentage of hunters that are pro-American is a higher percentage than veterans. I've now seen enough left-wing Democrat stupid fucking veterans. I'm like, did you not understand what you were doing? Oh, they're there to get training. Right now, nurses are calling for violence. College students are calling for violence. Their communist indoctrination teams are calling for violence. The leftists are allowing it. The judges are allowing it. The DAs are allowing it. The politicians are allowing it. The bureaucrats are allowing it. Are you prepared? Ooh, man, who's up? It's the Prepared Mind channel. It's Thursday. And I'm wound up pretty tight. Lynn says, I'd like to know why John doesn't talk to Trump. Not being mean, just a question. I have tweeted messages to Trump, the real Donald Trump. I've tweeted. Also, Pam Bondi. Also, Kash Patel. Also, Dan Bongina. Congressmen, senators. I send them emails. I tweet to them. Send messages tagging their name. I respond to the stupid shit they put on the internet. They don't fucking read anything. They don't. This is what we can do. If you want to talk to them, this is what I do. And I think it's made a difference. Not a huge difference, but politicians are lost. Still, senator, congressman, Capitol Hill phone number 202-456-1111. And you can talk to the Capitol Hill switchboard and see what they do with you. They could say, who do you want to talk to? Who's your congressman? Who's your senator? Shall we just put you in the black hole of death, phone messages? But seriously, call them. You got the switchboard 202-224-3121 or the comment line comment. Yeah, like they give a fuck, right? But that's a fair question, Lynn. I do talk to them. We've got one of our subscribers is John. Happens to be a physician. Used to have access to the original first Trump administration. And he is as hardcore as anyone I've ever met. Didn't change anything. A world famous physician, folks. A world famous surgeon. A surgeon who has invented life-saving equipment that has been adopted for the last 30 plus years in the medical industry, saving lives. This guy, you guys wouldn't believe unless you met him yourself and read the articles, and I'm not going to put his name up. I just call him Dr. John. He's one of the many doctors and Johns we have. Doesn't do a bit of fucking good. I've tried. I mean, maybe we get them to say they're going to do something, or say they're going to uphold the law, or say they're going to prosecute crime, just like they said they're going to go after Epstein. Folks, the Pizzagate thing is blown wide open again. Obama, Podesta, the Clintons, the royal families, the politicians of Europe, the bankers. Not a single fucking arrest. The government went and arrested and executed a fucking squirrel that did nothing wrong except bring joy and entertainment to people. Remember the squirrel? Remember him? You remember the squirrel, right, man? Yeah. Cute little fucking squirrel. They captured it and they killed it. You want to rape children? You want to terrorize them and cut the skin off their face so they're screaming with their faces ripped off? Frazzle drip? You want to drink their blood, disembowel them, and eat their flesh? No problem. No problem. Literally, it's right there in all the Epstein documents. And folks, these aren't even the bad ones. They redacted the names of some of the guilty and released all the names of the victims. Fuck it. Fuck the victims. They're protecting the guilty, and they're not arresting a soul. They're not investigating anymore. They have pictures and videos of this, folks. and they're doing nothing. How much longer are you as the American people going to take this? Well, you know, they haven't kidnapped my kids and they haven't kidnapped my grandkids. They're not, as far as I know, operating in my city, in my neighborhood. They're not knocking on my door. When are you going to do something about it? I'm asking this as a genuine question. Look, folks, I don't take my guns and go out and hunt these motherfuckers. That's really not how I operate. I'm not an investigative reporter. I'm not a PI. I'm not a private investigator. I'm not a criminal investigator. I don't go looking for trouble. But I can pretty much tell you who's doing it. Doesn't matter where you're at. The district attorney is dirty as fuck. Doesn't matter where you're at. The judges are dirty as fuck. Doesn't matter where you're at. Most of the sheriffs and the deputies are dirty as fuck. The cops, city cops, chief of police, dirty as fuck. City councils, dirty as fuck. State assembly, state senators, dirty as fuck. Governors, dirty as fuck. All the way to the top. Dirty as fuck. You could go find them if you wanted, but what are you going to do? Arrest them? They'll have the police crawling up your ass so quick, you'll think that you are a test subject at a proctological fucking convention. They will be all over and up you. So what do? Lynn says, then all we can do is talk like everyone else? No. Might as well load up on Vaseline. No disrespect. No disrespect intended. I'm not criticizing you guys for not going out and killing the pedophiles and getting rid of the illegals and locking the judges up ourselves. I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm saying the time hasn't come yet. I am saying the time is coming. If you don't think the time is coming, wait until the Democrats have power and authority. The latest is going to be 2028. That's the latest. It could happen next fall. If they win back the House, they win back the Senate, you can bet your ass they're going to go after Trump. They're going to come after us. Oh, yeah, folks. They've got Palantir, a private corporation, has been instructed by the federal government, according to many experts, to collect data on you and me, medical records, educational records, social media records, banking records, employment records. Everything about you is going into an AI computer that they're going to look at and control. Oh, yeah, here we are. Remember that thing called pre-crime, where they look at your personality type, they look at your life, your record, everything about you and go, oh, my God, this person is going to commit at some point in time a crime from this or that category. Hell, they could just make up whatever they want anyway, plan it on your fucking computer through the internet, come to your house and say, oh, yeah, you're a bad person. You were putting together a terror organization. You are one of Epstein's pedophile pals. You are a bank robber. They could make anything up they want. They can plant evidence, drugs, explosives, illegal weapons on you or me or anyone. And just say, yeah. And now we're going to use the media to come after you and destroy your reputation. Mark my words. Mark my fucking words. What are you going to do? Nothing until there's enough people backed against the wall and it's so fucking bad that you have to defend yourselves, or the left is coming down your street with torches, pitchforks, bullhorns, baseball bats, beating the shit out of everyone's property, terrorizing everyone, demanding food and money and to obey them. That, my friends, is the Bolshevik move right there. And guess who's going to feel safe? Remember when the rich in media were encouraging the 2020 riots? And the only time they got mad was when they showed up at their rich fucking gated communities. And then they started bitching. Understand who you are, where you are. That's why I tell you, there's you, 10-mile radius around you. In one day, everyone in that radius can walk by your house. And if they're good, got no problems. If they're bad, you got some fucking problems. That's what I'm saying. get to know your neighbors, find out who's a conservative, put together a group for public safety in the event of public disorder. You know, I mean, get this. It was the beginning of the year, 2020. We had a pandemic. But a convicted multiple felon criminal decided to take enough fentanyl to kill a motherfucking horse. And then take counterfeit money to a liquor store and attempt to pass it off. And this scumbag, who has since been sainted, St. George Floyd, one man died while he was being arrested. A criminal scumbag, drug addict, murderous, lecherous piece of fucking shit dies, and the whole country goes nuts. Meanwhile, we have billionaires, millionaires, financiers, bankers, politicians, royalty flying down to Jeffrey Epstein's island and fucking and raping little kids, little boys and little girls. And their emails spell it out. And they're not being arrested. One man gets killed from his drugs while in the hands of police and burn the fucking nation. But dozens and hundreds and indeed thousands of children. Folks, Epstein died in 2019 allegedly? It's 6 fucking years later. You think that the rich quit fucking raping kids and murdering kids and eating their flesh? You think that stopped? You think they're done? You think they're like, oh my God, they got Epstein. Let's never do that again. No. They should ask Hillary Clinton, what really gets your heart going, Hillary? Sacrifice night. That's right, Hillary Clinton. Nothing gets her heart going like sacrifice night. What are you sacrificing, Hillary? I'm sure it's more than just a chicken. All right, man, where are we going next? It's up to you guys. You guys. Right? My life is in my hands. Whose hands are you entrusting your life to? Well, we got Diving Frog says, John, Trump has been in office for a year now, and next to nothing has gotten done. But at least we don't have trannies dancing on the White House lawn. Right. That's great. That's just fucking wonderful. No rainbow flags, no transgender flags at the White House. That's right. Well, they had a fucking White House full of fucking menorahs. You got a bunch of people in black suits hanging out in the Oval Office. The illegals are here, folks. Yeah, a few have gone. A few were unhappy. A few have been arrested. The judges, though, they're making sure that they stop the government every chance they get from doing what they're fucking supposed to do. What are you going to do? Folks, let me ask you this question. Shit goes nuts. We get an SHTF situation. Democrats are running around burning everything. You and your group goes out and stops them because the police won't do shit. There's no fucking National Guard. You take care of the problem. Then what do? Do you go downtown to the police station and say, come on out right now. Bring your fucking guns, lay them on the ground, put your badges down, go get in your private vehicles and get the fuck out of here. Because you failed us. Then do you go to the judges and do the same thing? Come out from behind the bench, drop the little wooden hammer, take off your pretty black dress, and get the fuck out of here. Do you take all of their IDs? Take all the policemen, take all the judges, take the district attorneys, take all the government bureaucrats, get their IDs with their home address. Oh, John, you can't do that. Are you telling people to break the law? No, I'm just saying maybe you should do that. Because up in Minnesota, we have civilian communist fucks on street corners blocking traffic and demanding to see people's ID, taking pictures of their ID, their license plates, so they can track them and know where they live. So if they have a problem with them, they know right where to go to get them. Are you going to put up with that in your fucking town? Yeah, you try and fucking stop me. You try and demand my, injured or not. You want to fuck with an injured tiger? You try it. The time is coming, folks. I am not telling anyone to get violent. I'm telling you, you're going to need to defend yourself. It's coming faster and hotter. It's bubbling right under, right? Have you ever had a pot of water? It's fucking hot. Boiling is 212 degrees. You ever get water 200 degrees, 205? You're like, that water should be boiling, but it's not. You put a fucking lid on the pot. Everything's fine until it hits 212. Bam! Instantly, water starts fucking boiling over, making a fucking mess. The difference between 211 and 212 is less than half of 1%. Coming from 0 to 212. The difference between 211 and 212 is less than 1/2 of 1%. But that little difference going from 211 degrees Fahrenheit to 212, now you're boiling. And shit's going to boil over. 1 degree, folks. 1 degree separation between seemingly normal, just agitated, just hot water, and boiling over water. All right, where are we going to go next, man? We've got, looks like C says, John, that's why the cherry trees are in Washington, D.C. It's not to make them look pretty in the spring. Well, cherry trees. Are we talking about hanging ornaments from the cherry trees? Yeah, that's what I thought, Mr. Uman. I grew up in California, lived there for 50 fucking years. A lot of the fruit trees are very short. You want to know why? So they don't have to use ladders to pick the fruit and get them out of them. People can just get stuff from the ground. Kind of hard to hang someone if their feet can reach the ground. Be sure to use large, strong cherry trees for hanging your ornaments. Anyways, yeah, we need cherry trees, lamp posts. You know what? The guillotine worked really well in France back in 1892. I'm sorry, 1792. Really, folks. Mikey G says 11 or G 11. That's good. XI is 11. Xi Jinping of China is killing off a lot of high-level Communist Party officials. Is it a purge? I don't know what it is. I've watched it. I've followed it. I've been trying to figure it out. I don't know if Xi is getting rid of saboteurs. I don't know if Xi is getting rid of people who have, they might be making an attempt to steal power, or they're using their positions as high-level Communist Party members in China to involve themselves in other countries they're not supposed to. Or maybe Xi is afraid that some of his high-level officials are being bought off by countries like the U.S., Israel, or the World Economic Forum. I don't know. I do not know. But I tell you, who needs to be feared in China is not the Politburo. It is the People's Liberation Army, the PLA. The People's Liberation Army is the communist military of China that is extremely aggressive and wants to go to war. They're fucking commies, folks. They're a smaller percentage of the country, but hell, with 1.4 billion Chinese in their population, hell, just 1% of their population being in the military or as a reservist for the People's Liberation Army, that is bigger than the rest of the world's military combined. Literally. 14 million Chinese members of the PLA would be 1% of their 1.4 billion. The United States alone, I think our military is 2 million, between 1 and 2 million. And most of those are not frontline warriors, folks. 9 out of 10 in the military support infantry, if not a higher number. we're going to have some shit to deal with. I'm actually less worried about China than Israel. I'm less worried about China than Ukraine. I'm less worried about China than NATO. I'm less worried than China about, all of Europe, all of the West. I'm less worried about Russia than the rest of the Western world. I'm not worried about Iran at all. Iran can be smoked and nuked flat if they were to piss off the United States by attacking us. But I am not going to be surprised if we don't get a false flag attack on our country. False flag attack. Nuclear, biological, chemical. Oh, yeah. They found a bioweapons lab in California being run by an illegal that's here, doing tests and trying to infect rats and other insects with COVID and other diseases. Surprise! They're trying it, folks. Nuclear, biological, chemical. Blame the country that you want to go to war with, Iran, Russia. In fact, get this. The fucking media in the United States of America. Guess what the religion and country of the owners of media is? Go ahead and guess. Guess who controls them? The media is trying to say that Epstein was a Russian asset, that he worked for Russia, that he really? He's Jewish. Jizzy Maxwell, his partner, Jewish. Her dad, head of Mossad, which is the Israeli CIA, Jewish. He says everything like the world's greatest Talmudic Jew, Epstein did, calling all of us goy and goyim and trash, and right? But he's a Russian asset. You going to believe that? Well, that's what the mainstream media is trying to tell us. If they're saying anything at all, it's Epstein is a Russian asset. Same with England over in Europe. No. Let's not point to his obviously sell out Americans, sell out Europeans, and dual citizenship Israelis. All of their raping and murdering and killing and torturing and kidnapping of children. It's Russia. Unfucking believable. But believe it, this is how they do it. And if they want a false flag, they'll blame Russia or China or Iran while we suffer a nuclear attack, a chemical weapons attack, a biological weapons attack, maybe some natural disasters that they want to turn loose on us. All right, man, we got time for one more. Let's do it, buddy. Cyber Hana checks in and says, ha, the electric buses, $8 billion worth, are useless in Vermont due to the Arctic blast. Yeah, electric buses, electric automobiles don't do very well in the cold. Whoops. You know, when I lived up in the cold, I had my palatial mansion. I had a garage that was big enough to park my F-350 long bed extended cab truck inside to keep it at like 50 degrees in the winter so that things worked. Apparently the bus yards, I guess they don't have barns that they can park their buses in, keep the batteries warm enough so that they work. These people are fucking idiots, folks. They're fucking idiots. Ma'am Dammy, by the way, New York is covered in ice, snow, and trash because they're not picking up the trash and it's piling up in the streets. Frozen, wet trash covering sidewalks. It's getting in the streets. It's filling up alleys. Welcome to communism. Free buses? I don't think the buses are working either. That is socialism. That is the destruction that is being foisted on us by the anti-American, anti-Christian, anti-Western civilization, by the two religions out there that fucking hate us and want to kill us. Understand, folks. Understand. You can be nice all you want. You can be tolerant. You can be forgiving. You can be understanding. You can be generous. You can be kind. You can do everything you can to try and help these people assimilate, and they won't. To try and let them know you mean them no harm, and they don't care. They're here to mean us harm. Read the Epstein emails. They fucking hate every last one of us. Understand who they are. It is all of them. God bless America. We're going to need it. Get prepared, folks. I'm not joking. Go out and find some conservatives. Make friends with them. Time is short. You don't want to have to be doing it while people are walking up and down the street with guns, wondering, should I go talk to them? Are they on my side or the other side? They're walking around with guns. Best to have people that you know are good on your side now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the Zero Dark 30, and there'll be more to come. Tomorrow is going to be, well, the Friday Free for All, and then Sunday Night Live at the zoo. I'll see you guys tomorrow.